What's going on, everybody? In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the trade that I took on QCLS. Alright, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so there wasn't that much moving this morning pre-market, but QCLS was on my radar. I was looking at it when it was up in this $4.10 range around here at like 8:50 in the morning. And it was around then, it was only up about 18% on the day. And I only really like to short sell stocks that are at least up 50% on the day. That's just one of my criteria. But I didn't actually notice this pre-market run up. I wasn't in the room at the time. But the stock did halt at 9:32, or actually 9:33 we halted. I noticed that. So I already had shares located from in the morning. It only cost me maybe $2 to locate 500 shares. So I had 500 shares on deck, and I was looking to get short after we opened up out of the halt if we topped out, lost momentum, and then trended downward. I was logging into my brokerage around 9:34, 35. So let's jump over to Trading View and we'll take a look at when I got into the stock. Get rid of that ad. I got in 100 shares at $5.34 at 9:39 a.m. I did miss this initial candle right here. By the time I got in and logged into my broker, we had already came down to the low $5 range. So I was hoping that we bounced back up and I could get a nice entry. I got in at 534. We wicked out this candle around 540, 541. So as good as I could have got. It would have been nice if I had some more shares on, but I was risking off a high day, which was 568. So at 34, that would have been a 34-cent risk spread right there. I would have rounded up to 570. So about 36 cents on the trade. Only 100 shares, that'd be a $36 loss. Risk profile this week is $75 per losing trade. So I did want to get some more shares on, but we did break down into the lower $5 region. So I ended up getting 50 shares on at $5.20 at 9:42 a.m. Still risking off high a day, and at that point my risk would have been, I think it was like $65 if I can remember correctly. But the average on my position at that point was $5.29. I built some levels that I'd like to get out on the chart right here. This would be 2 to 1 off my entry point, the average at 529 and the high a day at 570. So that was 40-cent risk. So 80 cents below my entry price was 449 and another 40 below was 409. So that was the points I was looking to exit the trade at 2 to 1 and 3 to 1. Just get everything out lower if I could. We did bounce nicely up to the $4.80 region and we held that. So I grabbed 150 shares at $4.71 at 9:49 a.m. My average share price was, I believe, 509, so it brought me down pretty good. So I moved my risk down to 527, which was around my initial average with the 150 shares from the morning. But it was also a nice spot on the chart right here where we wicked out around 526. So that's where I moved my risk up to. I was still holding the 2 to 1 and 3 to 1 levels from before for my covers. I got out 100 shares at 459 just to reduce some risk in case we by chance trended upward. It lowered my average pretty significantly. I was up at 529 and it brought me 20 cents lower. So let's get this ad out of here. So I just wanted to reduce some risk in case we broke the $5 range. I would have been losing money on that. And if I had to stop out at 527, it would have been slightly over $80 out of the loss. So I cut 100 shares there, and then I cut 50 more shares at 446 at 9:54 a.m. after we broke below the 449 level. I held on to the rest of the 150, and I got 50 shares out at 4.27, $4.27 at 9:57 a.m. That was up here. And then I got 50 shares out right at 3 to 1 at $4.09 at 9:58 a.m. And then I rode the rest down to 390 at 10:05 a.m. and I covered the entire position for a total profit on the trade of, I'll put it on screen right here. So $205.57 on that little trade. I did miss the entry if I was logged in and at my computer. I might have even had a starter position right there out of the gate. Probably not, since we weren't up 50% at that point. We really did get into a nice percent gain worth a short trade after we got out of the halt. So maybe I could have got in this initial candle right here, but I'm satisfied with the way I added to the position, reduced my risk, and then cut the entire position. This was almost a 4 to 1 return on the trade. So that's pretty solid. And if we take a look, let's go to the 5-minute chart. I kind of sold the position near low a day. We got as low as 382, and my best exit was 390. So did pretty good there. It then bounced back up, and we never broke low a day, but it did close green on the day. So something to consider. Alrighty guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you learned anything new, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more recap videos on the trades that I take, live streams Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Be sure to tune in for those. And subscribe to the channel. Take care.